events that took place in the last week as usual, or you can also add your inputs along with the session as usually I say. So starting with polity topic, we had this article on Hindu. It is ESCR, right? So Supreme Court reports, electronic Supreme Court reports. This was in news as a part of polity we are taking up. So Supreme Court's translation projects raced ahead in 2023 as retired High Court judges, law clerks help AI. Now, the news is regarding the verdicts or the reports or the Supreme Court reports that has to be translated in various regional languages. It is a simple report wherein one can understand that how quick when it comes to the translation that has happened so far, at least in the past 1 year, it's a positive news. So just to have an awareness about this particular portal, this facility, as a common man, one should have an awareness regarding this. And also as a part of your exam, maybe in mains answer writing also, when it comes to the recent innovations of judiciary. So all this you can add up. So we'll see what is it exactly and some of the key points from it. The Supreme Court of India's monumental project of translating all of its 36,000 judgments into scheduled languages achieved unprecedented speed in 2023. So the Supreme Court had chosen 36,000 judgments and translating to scheduled language we are talking about, not as I said, the regional languages. Of course, they come under scheduled languages. So how many scheduled languages are there as per the Constitution of India? Can you tell me? How many scheduled languages have been identified as per the Constitution of India? Yes, you can answer. How many are there? It's very good, 22. So we have 22 scheduled languages. So India being a democratic country, and we are not a country wherein, yes, 22 languages. We are not a country wherein we can only focus on, what do you call, a particular language in India. There will be regional differences as we usually see in news and we know that we experience. So this is a major step by Supreme Court, by the judiciary, to translate the judgments wherein each citizen, every citizen of India will get to know the judgments of the Supreme Court. Okay, that is why it is called as Electronic Supreme Court Reports, ESCR. So a portal has been set up, a website, wherein initially when it started in 2023, January 2023, it had 2,238 translated judgments. But the end of the year, we have 31,000 rulings translated. This is quite an achievement. So justice achievement in the sense it is done electronically, not manually, of course, but still the importance which is given has to be appreciated. So Justice S.A. Bobde was the first to move the idea of translating the court's judgments into regional languages. That is just for you to know who pioneered the concept of translating the judgments. Not everybody can read in English, not everybody can understand Hindi, even if it is in Hindi and English. So it has to reach out to every nook and corner of India wherein people can access the rulings. That was the idea here. That is why it was the very first time this idea came into being by Justice S.A. Bobde. So currently, the highest number of who was Justice S.A. Bobde? He was also Chief Justice of India, right? Previous. So currently the highest number of translated judgments are in Hindi, followed by Punjabi, Kannada, Tamil, and Gujarati. And by this, you will also get to know these are all our scheduled languages of India. So this is the news. Okay. So the key points regarding this ESR portal. How does it work? So ESR Portal is an initiative to provide the digital version of the Apex Courts or Supreme Court's judgment. It provides digital version of the Apex Court's judgments in the manner as they are reported in the official law report. So the Supreme Court has developed a search engine with the help of National Informatics Center. So National Informatics Center works under the Ministry of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Remember that. So this is an organization. NIC, when it comes to NIC, you might have heard about it. So this is also being developed by NIC. It comprises elastic search technique in the database of ESR and search facility in ESR, provides for free text search, search within search, case type search. So basically, if you want to know about the past judgments in your own languages, so that is possible. That is what ESR does. Okay, so even judgment, which judge gave this judgment, and everything, all kind of search is available. So when we speak of National Informatics Center, it is a repository or a database of all the information regarding, when it comes to the national level information, we can see. It will provide free access to, it's about 34,000 judgments to lawyers, law students, and the common public. It is not only for the law fraternity, it is also for every citizen of India. One can access the rulings, right? So these verdicts will be available on the Apex Court website, its mobile app, and on the judgment portal of the National Judicial Data Grid. A National Judicial Data Grid is a repository of information of rulings or judgments in the past. Okay, so one can directly access it. For you also, for your common awareness, basic awareness, you can also access directly this particular portal. So in order to know about or have an awareness about this portal, what is it all about? This is it. It is an electronically generated rulings, the past rulings of the Supreme Court, so that it is available in the scheduled languages. But there are limitations, of course. We know that artificial intelligence cannot be completely depended upon. When you translate, maybe even when you simply translate on Google Translate, if you take, and if you want to translate English to regional or regional to English languages, so you will find many faulty errors, and it is totally different. It would even change the very idea of the whatever you are searching for, the concept itself. So that limitation still prevails. It is not free from all the flaws or something like that. So Supreme Court also has given a explanation saying that one should keep that in mind and read the judgments or rulings when they are reading in their own languages. That is also there. So it should fix this eventually, probably. So with programming and more writing more algorithms and all that. But as of now, this is what the facility we have. Okay, this is from the first topic we have. Moving on to 16th Finance Commission. 16th Finance Commission, sharing of budget allocation, or maybe the tax excerpts, all these are in the news in the last 1 week, right? The 16th Finance Commission constitutional provision ide. If hope you can follow in English. So only sometimes you will remind me to talk in Kannada, so I just keep on speaking in English. If you're okay, I'll just continue with that. And in between, if you have any questions, please do ask. No trouble with that. Okay. So 16th Finance Commission was in news. It is in news from the past 1 week. And here, let's look into the appointment. Government appoints Arvind Panagarya as 16th Finance Commission. He is actually known for his work in Niti Aayog, right? So Arvind Panagarya as 16th Finance Commission Chief, and he's been appointed, and we have a constitutional provision for this as well. So I have put up illi very basic points. News alli enide mattu adಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ points ಮಾತ್ರ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೇನೆ ನಾನು. For you, you have to go back to static part of Article 280. That is there. Apart from that, when it comes to Finance Commission and about the tax revenue sharing formula, definitely there will be difference of opinions by the various state governments. There will be criticism, there will be appreciation, and everything. You can just keep a tab on it. Nowhere in the exam people will be asking, the question will be not on who commented on what and who got how much. No, it is not there. So they go back to basics, the constitutional provision for Finance Commission. So that should be your revision part. Okay. So in adherence to the Government of India, in adherence to Article 280 clause 1 of the constitution has established the 16th Finance Commission, appointing Dr. Arvind Panagria, former vice chairman of Niti Aayog and professor at Columbia University, as its chairman. The 16th Finance Commission will recommend the tax revenue sharing formula between the center and the states for the 5-year period beginning April 2026. The Finance Commission is constituted under Article 280 of the Constitution. So once in how many years Finance Commission is constituted? Once in how many years Finance Commission is constituted? So far, it is the 16th Finance Commission. Yes. Once in how many years? Yes, good. 5 years. So some of the key points we have to look into is the commission will submit its report for the 5-year period 2026-27, 2030-31 to the president by October 31st, 2025. The Finance Commission is a constitutional body. Remember the term constitutional body. Okay, it is a constitutional body because we have a provision in the constitution that gives suggestions on center-state financial relations. So in terms of allocating budget, in terms of sharing the revenue, tax sharing, and everything comes under this, or according to the recommendations of the Financial Commission or Finance Commission. So besides suggesting tax devolution is nothing but distribution. Devolution andre distribution maduvanthadu between the center and the states, and revenue augmentation measures. Augmentation antandre increasing, adding measures. Idanna bittu Finance Commission andre bari it is not only about monetary aspects, only about tax sharing. Idu bittu the commission would review the present arrangements for financing disaster management initiatives with reference to funds constituted under Disaster Management Act of 2005. So idu ondu highlight agitte news alli enanta andre it is not only about devolution of tax, distribution of the revenue or revenue sharing formula anta enanta karitive adu matra alla. ಈ ಸರಿ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ಫಂಡ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಹೈಲೈಟ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಸೈಕ್ಲೋನ್ ಮಿಶಾಂಗ್, ರೈಟ್, ಇನ್ ಸೌತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಇನ್ ಚೆನ್ನೈ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಇನ್ ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡು. ಸೊ ಅದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೇರಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡು was greatly affected. So when the state government asks central government from the disaster management fund, yes, so the central government has to provide or has to mobilize certain funds for the rehabilitation or rebuilding whatever disaster has taken place. But generally we see in the news kind of passing the remarks, controversies and all that. So this is high time we have to realize when disaster happens, there should be no political differences. Beyond political differences, the center and the state government has to work, right? One has to work together. That is the idea here. So it is not about, okay, this state has a different political party and this state I have the political party which I want. So that is not, it goes especially when it comes to disaster. So that is why some importance is given for this funds which is constituted under Disaster Management Act of 2005. That will be given importance. So after this, throughout this week, you might have seen regarding the remarks and how much did Karnataka get, how much did Kerala get, how much did the North Indian states got. So all this, whenever the budget or the sharing happens, this is a common thing. It is not something new, but we will focus on the static part of this 280, Article 280. And what is the role of president in the Finance Commission? Any role of the president in the Finance Commission? Can you tell me? Finance Commission is a constitutional body. Does president or has president have any role in the, what do you call as, in the Finance Commission? Who appoints the chairman? Who appoints? Yes. You can see in this news. Finance Ministry on Sunday notified President Draupadi Murmu's order. The order will be issued by the President and finally the Ministry will notify. I think you have to again revisit Article 280 and look into it. Look into the provisions, okay? Just be careful with that because this year we have this. Any remote based question, anything can be asked. Fine. And moreover, when it comes to this 16th Finance Commission, until 14th Finance Commission, we had planning commission. Then after that, we had this from 15th and 16th, Niti Aayog takes care of it. Niti Aayog is part of it. That also one has to remember. There are certain key points one has to look into it. Maybe there are many articles came after this. I just gave an importance to who is the what do you call as chairperson of this one 16th Finance Commission. But apart from that, keep a tab on all the articles associated with this particular topic. Okay. Yes, we will move on to history topic. So Savitribai Phule was in news, and every year there will be news on this person wherein, or this lady wherein regarding the contribution of Savitribai Phule to education in India, especially women or girl child education. That's why we revere her, or maybe we what do you call us, remember her. So every year on January 3rd, India celebrates a special day called as Savitribai Phule Jayanti, birth anniversary. So more than the birthday, it is a day to remember and honor a remarkable woman who fought for girls' education and sparked a revolution in India. So in the pre-independence era, and even after that, or even during British time, or even before that, there was no such a concept of girl child education except for particular classes. So that is where this personality came into being, and we have various stories. Maybe in history static part of history, you might have learned about it, or you have read in NCERT as well, her contribution. But here we are just picking up. Every year there will be one or two questions on personalities, historical personalities, or the major people who are part of this, or who are, maybe they are social reformers, or maybe they are what you call as freedom fighters, or tribal leaders, anybody. There will be one certain questions depending upon all the birth anniversaries and death anniversaries. The birth ಮತ್ತು ಡೆತ್ ಆನಿವರ್ಸರಿ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟಾರಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ನೀವೇನು ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ತೀರ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So Savitribai Phule challenged the conventional gender rules prevalent in 19th century when the British colonized India, a time when women's issues were seldom addressed. So by then the concept of gender equality was totally nil, especially under the British rule. So this person, along with her spouse, played a very important role in educating girls, educating women. So that is why we remember her during her Jayanti. So what are some of the contributions of Savitribai Phule? So Savitribai Phule was a pioneer of women's education in India. In 1848, she found the first school for girls in Pune, breaking social norms. So Savitribai Phule is from Maharashtra, basically. So first school for girls was found in Pune by Savitribai Phule. So fight against caste discrimination also. She, along with her husband Jyotirao Phule, actively worked against the caste-based discrimination prevalent in the society. They found Satya Shodhak Samaj. So in religious and social reform movements, you might have learned about various leaders, ಬೇರೆ leaders ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್, ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ organizations, it may be Brahma Samaj, Arya Samaj, Satya Shodhak Samaj, and their contributions. It's been it's been very lately, they are not directly asking about the organizations, but yellow on the remotely related word they can take up and ask. Because if it is recurring in the news, every year it is there, and definitely, or some articles will be there. So you should be knowing about it. Okay. So it is a Satyashodak Samaj is a social reform organization to challenge the oppressive caste system. So ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, ಅದರದ್ದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಹೆಸರೇನು ಮತ್ತು ಏನು ಉದ್ದೇಶ, what is the objective, that should be kept in mind. So apart from that, promoter of widow remarriage, Savitribai Phule was a vocal advocate for the rights of widows as well, not only education but also widow remarriage. Social reformer, as being a social reformer, they both husband and wife dedicated their lives to social reform. They fought against untouchability, worked towards uplifting the lower caste through education and awareness. Both the people, especially Savitribai Phule, faced flack from people, criticism from people. It is said that in one of the story goes like this, wherein when she used to being first a teacher also, it is not only she was the first person to what do you call as found the school for girls, but also she was the first woman teacher in India. That credit also goes to her. And when she used to go to school too, on her way every morning, people used to sit, she used to take various shortcuts to avoid these people, because they used to literally throw stones on her, throw cow dung on her, so that she should not make it to the school. This level of gender indiscrimination was there. So that is why she is considered as one of the prominent personalities, especially when it comes to girls' education in India. That's why every year her Jayanti is celebrated. Hope it is clear. And apart from this, you have to collect some more information regarding this person. Okay. So this is what we have from the historical perspective. And from art and culture, there is some kind of a grass called as Sisi Grass. That is in news, and because it is related to art and culture, I have brought up here. It can be related to basically climate change or maybe governance also. But because this is a handicraft, we are looking into it. Maybe other aspects also. Let's look into it. So government failed us. Sisi artisans suffer livelihood losses and amid climate change and state apathy. So here the news is regarding, there are these artisans who make this baskets or various baskets, that is from a grass called as Sika or Sisi grass. Okay, so it has by using various colors. So as of now, their livelihood is under threat. So why is this happening, and what is their stance, and what are the other key facts? We will look into it. So Sisi artisans suffer livelihood losses amid climate change and failed promise of government in providing financial help in setting up of Sisi stalls in countrywide trade fairs held around the year. The people, the artisans are not blaming because they couldn't make anything with the grass, or they couldn't actually work on it. The blame is regarding, the disappointment is regarding, because of the climate change, there was it was an effect on the growth of the grass and also the making of all these baskets. That is to be blamed, or that blame goes to climate change, nothing to do with the government. But government had promised these artisans that it would provide financial help and set up Sisi stalls in the trade fairs sponsored by the government and various units. But this did not happen. That is the disappointment here. That is the complaint. Beyond that, we have to see the other key factors of the topic. So despite Sisi beneficial properties and utilitarian values, if you remember, biodiversity, utilitarian values we have discussed, right? What is utilitarian value of biodiversity? Materialistic value, how we are dependent on nature and how nature provides us material for our economic benefit, for our livelihood. That is called as utilitarian value. The artisans who work with grass failed to get the desired governmental patronage and promotion. That is why they're disappointed. So Sisi got the GI tag, Geographical Identification tag, in 2018. It has GI tag as well, along with Makhana and Madhubani paintings. Makhana is a foxnut. Makhana or Makhana, how do you pronounce it? So this one and Madhubani paintings. Madhubani paintings of which state? Can you tell me? Madhubani paintings. Madhubani paintings and this Makhana, that is foxnut. You might have heard, and we are actually Yes, Bihar. So, but it is not promoted by the government in the same spirit as the other two. Now, Madhubani paintings and Makhana has a very wide recognition in India. Makhana is now almost, it is a very popular snack. We are switching to healthy snack from the junk, means we are switching to Makhana. We can see in every store. And Madhubani paintings also have quite an importance in various trade fairs and all that. But we have never heard of this Sisi Grass thing. So that is why they are worried. All these three items are specific to Mithila region of Bihar. Okay, Mithila region of Bihar, and are hence invested with immense regional cultural capital. All the three belong to the same place, but Sisi Grass is not given much importance. That is why they are disappointed. Now, this is what we get from the news. Other facts regarding this Sisi Grasses, you can see all these crafts, how they make out of it. It is basically made from grass. Now, what is the trouble here? Why? First of all, first thing is their livelihood is affected. That is because of climate change. And why? How climate change is impacting their livelihood. And also government is adding fuel to the fire, we can say. So Sisi grass belongs to Zizanoides grass family. It is basically a grass. It is a rich yellowish variety of reed grass. Reed means a tall grass. ತುಂಬಾ ಉದ್ದವಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆಯುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ನಾವು reed grass ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Locally known as kaincha is called golden grass because of its golden luster. So scientifically, Chrysopogon zizanoides, it finds mention in ancient Sanskrit texts such as Ramayana, where it is referred to as Veeran, Sugandhimul, Ushir, Nalad, etc. Bere ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So this grass grows indigenously in the Terai region. Terai region. What is the speciality of the Terai region? It is pronounced T-E-R-A-I also. How does Terai region looks like? What kind of habitat is that? Of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Yes. Where do we have this Terai region? Terai region is a marshy grassland. It is a marshy grassland. Hope you know what is marsh. Marshy grassland between India and Nepal. Here also, it is also known for one of the tallest growing grass. That is elephant grass also thrives here, because this Terai region, which is between India and Nepal, or which borders between Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Nepal, here it is known for the perennial flow of rivers. So the rivers carry sediments. Illi Himalayan rivers ಏನು ಹರಿತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸೆಡಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಫರ್ಟೈಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಫರ್ಟೈಲ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ the growth of the grass will be good, really good, and the height will be even more or greater height when compared to any other grasslands in India, because of the nutrients that support the grassland. So ಈ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಟೆರೈ ರೀಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಯುವಂತ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಇದು. So remember, though question will not be asked on, need not be asked, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಲಾಜಿಕ್ಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ವಿಷಯಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಓದಿದ ವಿಷಯ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ while the stem is used to make artifacts, the roots are used for extracting oil that is used both for perfumery and medicinal purpose. So idu not only for basket making but also oil alli mattu perfumery alli ಅಥವಾ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಆಗಿನೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ ಹಿಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆರೈನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನೌ ಗ್ರೋನ್ ಟು ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಎರೋಷನ್, and it also has got, I think this I have mentioned, it also has got GI tag. GI tag is also there, it has received. Now when we speak of this grass, why these people are worried about this grass? Because of the excess heat. The challenges is, one of the serious challenges, the brunt of the climate change that has impacted the quality of the grass. Now the quality of the grass is reducing. This is leading to the softness of the Sisi grass. Okay, so the softness will go off. It becomes more rigid and more rough ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಈ ಹೀಟ್ ಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಹೋಗಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಬ್ರಿಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮುರಿದೋಗೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಏನು ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ರಿಜಿಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ ವೀವ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಈ ಬಾಸ್ಕೆಟ್ ವೀವ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಹೀಟ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಉದುರು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಬ್ರಿಟಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ವೀಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ವೀವಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇನ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹಿಡಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಈ ಲೈವ್ಲಿಹುಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಲೈಮೇಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಒಂದ್ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂತ people are complaining literally. Okay, hope it is clear. The takeaway from this topic is the Sisi Grass, which has its GI tag, and it's from Bihar, along with Madhubani and Makhana. And one more thing you have to look into is Terai region, that is in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Okay, this is what we have from art and culture. Then we have governance. That is, actually it is very difficult to divide the topics, segregate the topics, saying that okay, this is governance, this is wildlife, what do you call it, environment and all that, because everything has a combination. But still, looking at the scheme, I'm putting this under governance. Okay, so there is a program called as Swadesh Darshan scheme. Now we are talking about Swadesh Darshan 2.0, the second version. And the news regarding this is Swadesh Darshan is nothing but we will see the objectives to visit certain places to improve tourism, to boost tourism. That is the main idea of Swadesh Darshan. But in the news, we can also see two protected areas. That is in Odisha, Debrigad and Kinda. Kinda is a village. Debrigad is a wildlife sanctuary. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಒಡಿಶಾಸ್ Debrigad and what do you call it, wildlife sanctuary. ಅದು ಮೀರಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. we will see what is the speciality of this Kinda village ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. So the tourism ministry has launched Debrigad wildlife sanctuary in the Swadesh Darshan, has included this sanctuary in the Swadesh Darshan scheme. ಸ್ವದೇಶ್ ದರ್ಶನ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಟೂರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಟೂರಿಸಂ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂತ, ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಟೂರಿಸಂ ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ Debrigad ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಚುರಿನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಚುರಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಿಂಡಾ ವಿಲೇಜ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಸ್ಟೈನೇಬಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಟೂರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್. ಇನ್ನು ಅದು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಡ್ರಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ರೂಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಸಫಾರಿ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸಫಾರಿ. ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾಧ್ಯನೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತೋ, ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ವೈಲ್ Debrigad is one of the most sought after wildlife sanctuaries in Odisha, which is very prominent. Kinda, which is 30 kilometers away from Sambalpur. This place, Kinda, is known for a freedom fighter, Veer Surendra Sai. Kinda village is known for Veer Surendra Sai. That I'll give it to you. What is his contribution? Okay. So Odisha is a place. This Kinda is also a place which is known for, which is the birthplace of Veer Surendra Sai. So ishtu information ida in news alli. So now we will see what is the Swadesh Darshan scheme. Enu idu scheme main idea enu anta. So it was launched in 2015. So we can see it is the second version, 2.0. It was launched in 2015 by the Ministry of Tourism to develop sustainable and responsible tourism. Sustainable and responsible tourism destinations in the country. So it is a 100% centrally funded scheme. So state government has no funding here. Only central government will do the complete funding. So under the scheme, Ministry of Tourism will provide financial assistance to the state government, union territory, central agency for development of tourism infrastructure in the country. So central government ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಫಂಡ್ ನ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ to improve the places sustainably, tourist places sustainably. So operation and maintenance of the project sanctioned under Swadesh Darshan scheme is responsibility of the respective state. ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಸರಿ ಫಂಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ನಂತರನು ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. ದ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ವರ್ಷನ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ Swadesh Darshan scheme, is to envisage increase in private sector investment in tourism and hospitality. So not only attracting or not only attracting the tourist here, but also the second version do idea ಏನು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ Swadesh Darshan is just common, as I told you. Ministry of Tourism ಕೆಳಗೆ certain places na list ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ place ಗೆ ಯಾವ places ಎಲ್ಲ tourism ಗೆ ಏನು ಟೂರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಿರ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗದೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದು ಫಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ one first version. Second, it is the continued part of it, wherein more importance should be given to private sector investment. If at all private sector is also trying to invest, andre maybe infrastructure agirbodu. Infrastructure andre they're not expecting in these places, like especially wildlife sanctuary infrastructure anta enu alla, maybe connectivity, okay, connectivity to the places, or maybe some sponsors you might have seen. Even one company sponsor ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, so this is maintained by so and so company ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Is it clear? So this is about Swadesh Darshan. Okay, as the name itself suggests, tourism, knowing our places. ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದೇ ಒಂದು ಟೂರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ನೋಬಡಿ ಅದು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಲೆನೇ ಕೆಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ವೆನ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಫ್ಯೂ ಮಂತ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಐ ವೆಂಟ್ ಟು ರಾಯಚೂರ್. ಮಸ್ಕಿ ಇಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಫಾರ್ ವಾಟ್? ಮೇ ಬಿ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಫ್ರಮ್ ರಾಯಚೂರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಮಸ್ಕಿದು ವಿಶೇಷತೆ ಏನು? ಎಸ್, Ashoka what? Ashoka's inscription. Okay, so for some other official work I had been there, and anyway I was there, so I just wanted to see it. So I just asked the localites, I just want to go there to that place, and people are like, what is there to see? Like the inscription. Okay, there is an inscription, what is there to see? Because if at all ade inscription ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಏನೋ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್, ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ರೆಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಫೇಮಸ್. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಜನರು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಇರೋ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಅದರದ್ದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿನೈಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್. ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೋ ವೆಲ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಆರ್ಕಿಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ವೆ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಸೊ ದೇವನಾಮ ಪ್ರಿಯದರ್ಶಿನಿ, ರೈಟ್? Ashoka's one more name is mentioned in this Muski's inscription. Then protect ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. It has been with the like protected, and there is a big rock and all that. Maybe ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. So close ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So people are like using it for like some boys were sitting and chit chatting and all that. It's basically the very value has gone there. So an example ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ what just came to my mind. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಈ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜಾಗಗಳು ಟೂರಿಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಜಾಗಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ಬನವಾಸಿ also I had been a few 2 years back, I guess. There is this Madhukeshwara temple, a fascinating temple, and how scientifically with scientific precision it is built. Pratyondu angle, pratyondu, you know, the stone where the statue is built or made, and the angle that is been seen various temples there. Ondu Nandi statue ide, people believe that, and it is still growing. The bull statue, it is still growing, and it has increased the size. All these things are there. But if you visit that particular place ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, where have you come? ಇದು ಒಂದು ಟೂರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಜಾಗನ ಅಂತ. ಟೆಂಪಲ್ is maintained well, no trouble with that, right? But when we actually look at the plight of the temple, ಅದು enter ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಅದು almost, it is like almost about to fall. There is one big chariot, ಒಂದು ರಥ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So it is 1000 years, I mean 1000 years old. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಶತಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಹಳೆ ರಥ ನಿಲ್ಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೋ ವೆಲ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ಡ್. ಬಟ್ there is a village, obviously, ಪಂಪನ ಬನವಾಸಿ ಅಂತ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅದೊಂದು ವಿಲೇಜ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಜನರು ಮನೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಬೇಕೋ ಅವ್ರ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಈವನ್ ದೋ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಹೆರಿಟೇಜ್ ಸೈಟ್, ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ರೈಟ್? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಬೇಕು. That is the main intention of Swadesh Darshan scheme. Hope it is clear. Yes. So only if I get questions from you, I get a chance to, or this is like out of the blue, I just got some inputs and I just told you. So that you'll get an understanding. For me, what I feel is income is going to state or central. Okay. See, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಟೂರಿಸಂ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಸರಿ ಫಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಇಂಟರ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾನಿಟರ್. ಬಟ್ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗೇನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಒನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಫಂಡ್, ದೆನ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಪಾಯಿಂಟು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಟು ದ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. Clear? Can we go to the next topic? Yes. Prerana program. Recently, Ministry of Education launched Prerana program. We will see what is its features. So, ಒಂದಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ direct questions can be asked in prelims. So Department of School Education and Literacy, which comes under Ministry of Education, Government of India, has launched Prerana. Prerana is about an experiential learning program aiming to offer a meaningful, unique and inspiring experience to all participants, thereby empowering them with leadership qualities. Let us make it very simpler. Prerana anno program na Ministry of Education launch madide. Okay. So Prerana is driven by a strong commitment to integrate principles of Indian education system and philosophy of value-based education, which is the cornerstone of NEP. National Education Policy na innu strengthen ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ಲಾಂಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Because this focuses on Indian education system principles ಮತ್ತು value-based education ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಏನು NEP 2020 ಲಾಂಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗೇನು ಅಂತಾನು ಅನ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬೂಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಥನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ಲಾಂಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೇರಣಾ ಇಸ್ one week long residential program. ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ದ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರತಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೋ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲೋ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ 1 week residential program for the selected students from class 9th to 12th. 9th to 12th ಗೆ 1 week residential program ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ experiential and inspirational learning program for students with the best in class technology where heritage meets innovation. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ತರ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ, where they focus on heritage and also technology ಎರಡೂ. A batch of 20 selected students will attend the program every week from various parts of the country. ಪ್ರತಿ ವಾರದಲ್ಲೂ 10 ಹುಡುಗರು 10 ಹುಡುಗಿರು, a selected students from one batch in the a batch 20 students na select ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲೂ ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ 1 week ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಇಂದ 20 ಜನ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 20 ಜನ ಒಂದು ಸಲಿಗೆ 1 ವಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Prerana program is launched under which ministry? Ministry of Education. What is it all about? To strengthen the very idea of National Education Policy 2020, wherein where heritage and innovation are blended together. This is the takeaway. Okay, this can also be part of governance. Then the next one will speak about Indian economy, India's steel sector. So recently this was on PIB. India's steel sector records remarkable growth, emerges as the second largest global producer. Whenever there is India's position mentioned in terms of various exports and imports and production, one has to keep a tab on it. Now ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಎನಿ ಕಮಾಡಿಟಿ, ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಚೈನಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ಬೋದು, US ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಅ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ ಆನ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನೌ, when it comes to production, India stands second after China, of course. Okay, so we'll see some of the key points from here. India has emerged as a global force in the steel production and the second largest producer of steel in the world after China. India's steel output has been, this is only statistics, figures in numbers, namge ಒಂದು idea agashte, okay? So has been 125.32 million tons of crude steel and 121.29 million tons of finished steel production in financial year 23. So is to produce madide anta. Of course, I know that nobody can remember it and it is nothing of no great use. Idu ಒಂದು justification. ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಟನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ added here. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಅಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಈ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಅದೊಂದು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂತ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, we know that steel is a key sector for the Indian economy, responsible for 2% of the country's GDP. Steel industry is contributing, or it has contributed 2% of the to the country's GDP in the financial year 21-22. This is one of the facts. India's major steel producing states include Odisha, which leads among the all steel producing states. Odisha is known for steel production, followed by Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. These are the top 3 states in producing steel. Apart from that, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat and West Bengal also play crucial roles. Top 3 are these and other prominent states. So during April to November 2023, finished steel imports increased from 3.751 million tons last year to 4.253 million tons in the current year, witnessing a growth of 13%. That is, we can see the growth from the last year, or maybe April to November, when we compare to the previous year. That is why the importance should be given here. And apart from that, other initiatives, idella bittu, Indiadu steel production ella bittu, ulidiruvanta bere terminologies ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ initiatives of the government ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. I don't know whether we have discussed it, maybe initial classes. Green steel ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ? Green steel ಅಂತ one of the initiatives. So ಈ ತರ ಎಷ್ಟೋ initiatives steel industryಗೆನೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Okay, we will see what are the initiatives, recent initiatives for the growth of steel in India. First scheme, it is PLI scheme ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, Production Linked Incentive Scheme. Okay, for the growth of steel industry in India, government has launched a program called as a scheme called as Production Linked Incentive Scheme. Under the Production Linked Incentive Scheme, with a 5-year financial outlay of rupees 6,322 crore to promote manufacturing of specialty steel within the country. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೇನಂತಂದ್ರೆ Production Linked Incentive Scheme ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್, ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ financial outlay, a budget of 6,000 odd crores is been allocated. ಇದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವೀಗ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ because of all this initiative. Second one is Nagarnar Integrated Steel Plant. ಈ Nagarnar Integrated Steel Plant is in Chhattisgarh. So recently this is been set up wherein it has what you call as high capacity to produce steel, and this decision to construct Nagarnar Integrated Steel Plant was taken keeping in view the linkage with iron ore reserves and availability of investable surplus. We know that steel is extracted from or made from iron ore. So basically Chhattisgarh ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್, ನಾವೀಗ ಛತ್ತೀಸ್ಗಢ, ಒಡಿಶಾ, ಜಾರ್ಖಂಡ್ ಈ ಜಾಗನ ಏನು ಚೋಟಾ ನಾಗ್ಪುರ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಫಾರ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಐರನ್ ಓರ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್, ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್. ದೆನ್ Ministry of Steel's engagement with PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ರಧಾನ್ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಗತಿ ಶಕ್ತಿ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಈ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ ಗತಿ ಶಕ್ತಿ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕೊಲಾಬರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಜಿಯೋಲೊಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಈ ಜಾಗಗಳು, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇದು ಏನು ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿ, ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ they will locate the spot. So basically to even promote more steel industries in various parts of the country. Next, steel scrap recycling policy anta ondanu madidare 2019 alli, which provides a framework to facilitate and promote establishment of metal scrapping centers in the country for scientific processing and recycling of ferrous scrap generated from various sources, including end of life vehicles. So ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಾವೇನು vehicles ಅಥವಾ old vehicles ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಪ್ recycling ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ exclusively vehicles ಅಲ್ಲಿ iron, that is steel, it is made of the components are made up of steel. ಇದನ್ನ recycle ಮತ್ತು ಏನು reuse ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ರೀಸೈಕ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಸ್ಮ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅನ್ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ is trying to facilitate and promote certain centers, scrapping centers exclusively for vehicles, wherein ಈ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ನ ಮತ್ತೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. ಇದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್. Then green steel making, as I told you, green steel making is the most prominent one. We often see this in news. So ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, what is green steel ಅಂತ. So green steel is nothing but when we are manufacturing steel, we are making sure that we are keeping focus on or using renewable energy rather than non-renewable energy, avoiding the fossil fuel burning. ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲದೇನೆ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸುವಂತದ್ದು ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತ ರಿನ್ಯೂವೇಬಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿನ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದ್ ಯಾಕಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇನ್ ಲೈನ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಕಮಿಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ನೆಟ್ ಝೀರೋ ಎಮಿಷನ್ as enunciated in COP26 of UNFCCC. Okay, we are talking about the climate change conventions. Okay, UNFCCC ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ COP28 ಆಯ್ತು. COP26 ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಸ್ಕಾಟ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. in COP26 which was in Glasgow, Panchamrit anta anbiಟ್ಟು our prime minister gave this word, Panchamrit. Panchamrit ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 goals in India to achieve, to tackle climate change. One of the goals ಏನು, net zero emission 2070 ಒಳಗೆ ನಾವು net zero emission ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು pledge ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಪಂಚಾಮೃತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 goals. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ one of the goal is what? To attain, to achieve net zero emission by 2070. Yes, we have a long way to go. ಏನಿದು net zero emission ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? What is the meaning of net zero emission? The amount of carbon that is emitted, instead of ending up in the atmosphere, has enough carbon sinks or carbon storage. So ನಾವು totally ನಮ್ದು industries ನ ನಾವು stop ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. We are not subduing the growth of the industries or economic development. We need this economic development, but we also have to give importance to reducing the emission of the carbon. So reduce, ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಎಮಿಷನ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇನಫ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಸಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಮಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಸಿಂಕ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಸಿಂಕ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಓಷನ್, ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್, ಸಾಯಿಲ್. ಇದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಓಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ 30% ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜೀಸ್, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಸೀಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ದು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ carbon dioxide, excess carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, should not end up in atmosphere. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು net zero emission ಅಂತ ಅಂತೀವಿ. For the emitted carbon, there is enough carbon sink, carbon storage unit. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಅಪ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಡಿಕಾರ್ಬನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್, ಇದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್. ಸೊ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್ 13 ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯಾ, ಥಿಂಕ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್, SNT bodies, different ministries and other stakeholders to discuss, deliberate and recommend upon different levels of decarbonization of the steel sector. This is for your understanding, but still remember, green steel is very important topic. Okay, yes. So green hydrogen production antano agirbodu, national green mission kedage. Ee national green mission el barutte? We have something called as NAPCC, that is National Action Plan on Climate Change. For those who have done already, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ನಾವು ಕ್ಲೈಮೇಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಮೇಬಿ ಯು ಮೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಸ್. NAPCC ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಕಮಿಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ಕ್ಲೈಮೇಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್. ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗೆ 8 ಮಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. One of the mission is National Green Mission. Okay, so ultimately we are actually talking about steel industry, but we diverted towards climate change. Adrunu question green steel ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಮತ್ತೊಂದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. So the takeaway from this topic is India's position, some of the steel producing states, and India's initiatives in the production, in the steel production. Okay, so various initiatives bagenu gottirbeku. So this is what we have from Indian economy. Then we'll move on to environment. So Meghamalai hills present a new winged beauty. That is regarding, maybe on Hindu you might have come across this news. The butterfly species discover madidare anta Western Ghats alli news ide. So this is not something new. ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷನೂ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರತಿ ವಾರನೂ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಬಟರ್ಫ್ಲೈಸ್, ಅದು ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್, ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಫಾರ್ ದ ವೆರಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಈಗ ಇನ್ 33 years ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಟರ್ಫ್ಲೈ ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 33 years ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ honeybee species discovered in Western Ghats and the ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. That's the news. So people studied about honeybees, in other ಹೆಸರು, scientific names ಎಲ್ಲಾನು. But simple question ಏನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, I think in the class also have mentioned this, or we have taken up this question, wherein what is that? What dance they perform? Waggle dance. Waggle dance is performed by which of the following insects anta. Andre I'm not saying that they are not going to ask about this new species, but looking at the pattern of the previous year question papers, though the news is on this, they can go back to the very basic features of butterfly itself. Adu pollination agirbodu, athwa butterfly being a detritivore agirbodu. What is a detritivore? Detritivore. Who is a detritivore? Detritivores. Can we call butterfly as detritivore? Yes. So what is a detritivore? What is the definition of detritivore? Detritivores are the organisms, usually insects, which feed on waste, debris. Alba. So though it ee news alli eno kottilla, but still I want you to look into it. Idadmele ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಯಾವುದು ಅದು ಯುನಿಕ್ ಫೀಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಟರ್ಫ್ಲೈ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ. We'll complete this key highlights from the news first. So the pristine hills of the Meghamalai in Tamil Nadu. Meghamalai is in Tamil Nadu. They have thrown up a new species of silver line butterflies. You can see on the body they have the silver line, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ silver line butterflies ಅಂತ. Lepidopterists ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ those who study butterflies and moths from Tamil Nadu and Kerala stumbled upon the new species. Stumbled upon antandre by mistake they got to know about this, which is Sigeratis meghamalaensis, scientific name, from the biodiversity rich hills of Periyar landscape during an expedition conducted in 2021. It has become the first butterfly species to be described from the Western Ghats in last 33 years. E family alli baruvanta butterfly very first time. Butterfly first time alla. With the discovery, the total number of butterflies in the Western Ghats has risen to 337 species, including 40 Western Ghat endemics. So illi tanka sikiruvanta athwa number of butterflies we have in Western Ghat is 337. Adralli 40 are endemic. Andre what are endemics? Which are found in that particular region, which are the native species. 40 species are endemic to Western Ghats, where in 337 we have different variety of butterflies in Western Ghats. Ishtu highlights of this butterflies. Okay, when it comes to scientific names, e plants the scientific names keltare jaasti. Okay, or maybe in your state level exams alli ee ರೀತಿಯಾದ questions ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Less likely UPSC ಕೇಳೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ last few years ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ I'm telling you. Apart from that, I can also say that, ask you to check with this state butterflies. Yaudella state butterflies ide. How many states in India have state butterflies? What are their names? What is the state butterfly of Karnataka? Which is the state butterfly of Karnataka? Southern birdwing. Okay, southern birdwing is the state butterfly of Karnataka. Likewise, there are only few states which has a state butterfly. Recent agi ಒಂದು national campaign ನಡೀತು. Indiadu ಅಥವಾ national butterfly. I don't know whether the final result came out. You can check with that also. National butterfly idea. ಒಂದು campaign ನಡೀತು, public campaign. Finally, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ top list the last list ಮಾಡಿ 2 or 3 were in the top list, and I think one of them made it to the list. Whether it is officially declared, I did not see in the news. Maybe you can check with that also. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ irony is or funny part is ಇದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಾಕಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. ಬಟರ್ಫ್ಲೈ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂತದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ we have to look into it. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ we also have a protected area that is spoken about, that is Periyar Tiger Reserve. It is not only about the butterflies but also about the tiger reserve. So we will look into few key points regarding this tiger reserve as well. Why most of the species found in Western Ghats compared to Eastern? Geological reason, nothing much. I mean, the direct reason is geological reason, because Western Ghat, when compared to Eastern Ghats, in its location, and if you go back to the geographical perspective, where it emerged from. Now we have this western side of India when we see this, and Madagascar and eastern side of Africa has a comparison. Ade reetiyagi, when we look into the other continents or the other places like Borneo forest, Amazon forest, if you ask me why it is rich in biodiversity, one reason is geological formation. The other reason is because it is tropics, near the equator. So we have to go back to the very reason wherein solar radiation is more. If sun's energy is more, vegetation is more. If vegetation is more, biodiversity is more. And the Eastern Ghats alli illa anta illa. Comparatively, Eastern Ghats has lesser biodiversity when compared to Western Ghats. That's all. Nothing a specific reason for it. First thing is, it is between the tropics, the geological location of the Western Ghats. Okay. So anyway, Periyar Tiger Reserve. How many tiger reserves are there in India? Yes, how many tiger reserves are there? The current updated number. Latest one. Okay, you can tell me. Meanwhile, I'll just read this. It is located in the Western Ghats of Kerala. Periyar is in Kerala. It gets its name from the Periyar River itself. There are 2 rivers that flow, Pamba and Periyar. So it is home to 53. Can you tell me the 53rd tiger reserve, the latest one also? There are tribal communities. You have to look into it, because when we take up a protected area, one has to look into the tribal community as well. Mannans and Palians are part of this tiger reserve. And vegetation, obviously, because it is tropical forest, so we expect tropical evergreen, semi-evergreen, and moist deciduous forest. Flora, teak, mangoes, rosewood, jamun, all what we see in the tropical evergreen. 53, 54th, yes. Veerangana Durgavati Tiger Reserve of Madhya Pradesh, it is 54. Then fauna includes elephants, wild pigs, sambar, same thing, what we see in the Western Ghats, no, common. Okay. So coming back to that, we have 54 tiger reserve. That's why I asked you what is the latest, if it is 53, 54. So Veerangana Durgavati in Madhya Pradesh is the latest one, wherein it is also the 7th tiger reserve of Madhya Pradesh. There were 6, 7th tiger reserve of Madhya Pradesh, that is also there. So going back to this very topic, as I told you, we started off with the butterfly species, right? Basic features, what is given in the news, and also we have discussed about the protected area. As I told you, I'll tell you a very unique feature of a butterfly. Other than, apart from being a pollinator, apart from being a detritivore, where it feeds on the dead matter, it takes up an activity. Iga hege navu honeybee waggle dance na relate madidvi. So there is something called as mud puddling. by the butterflies? Mud puddling. It is not given in the news. I'm just telling you, and it was in the news before. So possibilities are there. The same pattern. Mud puddling is associated with which of the following insects? It's butterfly. What do this butterfly do basically? If you have observed it, maybe in a given place, on soil itself, there will be a congregation of butterflies, group of butterflies sitting on the mud, and they keep on fluttering. They sit on the mud, that's all. It is not a flower, nothing. Maybe a dung, it can be any decayed matter, it can be literally the soil, that's all. Maybe the wet soil, moist soil, or maybe the leaf litter. Many butterflies sit in the same place and they keep on fluttering. As you can see here also the same thing. So what exactly are they doing? Mud puddling is nothing but absorbing or extracting or feeding on the nutrients in the soil. ಹೇಗೆ ಹರ್ಬಿವೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಲಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವೋ, ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಮಡ್ ಪಡ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಮಣ್ಣು ಮೇಲೆ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಮಣ್ಣು ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ದಿಸ್ ಫ್ಲಟರಿಂಗ್, ದೇ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಮೂವ್, ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಫ್ಲೈ, ದೇ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಟ್ ಆನ್ ಇಟ್. So basically they are absorbing, they are extracting or feeding on the nutrients in the soil. That process is called as mud puddling. Okay, this is one of the unique features of butterflies, apart from being a pollinator and a detritivore. Is it clear? You'll get videos also if you have time. You can also watch some videos on mud puddling. ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು information ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ pictures ನೋಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ what is mud puddling. Okay, so this is regarding ecology. Let's take a break now for a few minutes, then I'll continue with the rest of the topics. Okay. Okay, we shall continue. The next topic would be, you can consider it as species in news. Pangolin. Pangolin, which is basically an anteater. Okay, so pangolin is being asked in exam, not directly for the conservation as such. We see, or pangolin is in the news for all the wrong reasons, like illegal trade and death of the pangolins and all that. And here the news is totally different. It is about the conservation project. In the past, questions are asked on which of the following, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಪ್ಯಾಂಗೋಲಿನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗಲ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇದ್ರೂನು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, pangolin being one of the options. The question went like this: which of the following species can curl up or curl themselves in order to defend themselves from the predators? So that was being asked, and pangolin was one of the options over there. Okay, pangolin and hedgehog and porcupine, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, curl ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, because it has very thick scales. These pangolin are traded and killed for their scales, which has various purposes, economic purposes. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇದನ್ನ poach ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So anyway, this is the idea, and yes, they are defense mechanism. So Madhya Pradesh Pench and Satpura Tiger Reserve, the ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬ್ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. ವಿಲ್ ಲುಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಇಟ್. The project launched to protect pangolins has succeeded at Pench Tiger Reserve and Satpura Tiger Reserve. Just now we spoke about tiger reserves. Madhya Pradesh has 7 tiger reserves, including the latest one, that is Durgavati, what is that? Virangana Durgavati Tiger Reserve. So among them, Pench and Satpura are the other 2. Now we are also learning about Pench and Satpura, which are also in Madhya Pradesh, right? Likewise, the pangolin conservation project has been launched with the help of Wildlife Conservation Trust Mumbai. It is a NGO. Wildlife Conservation Trust is a NGO, and pangolins are also known as scaly anteaters, the only known mammals with a large keratin scales covering their skin. We have keratin in our body, in the nails and hair, right? Likewise, the scales of the pangolin is made out of keratin, a protein. That is why it is so thick. It is like nail, but a little more thicker. Of the 8 species found worldwide, 4 each in Asia and Africa, 2 are found in India. Okay, so there are total 8, wherein 4 each in Asia and Africa. And when it comes to Asia, we are talking about the words are gone. I'll read it for you. One is Indian pangolin, the other one is Chinese pangolin. Okay, in Asia we have 2, that is Indian pangolin and Chinese pangolin. Here we are talking about Indian pangolin. So we can understand that pangolins are found in Asia and Africa, 2 continents. Because why we have to give importance to such facts? Questions can be asked. Pangolins are not naturally found or naturally found in other continents or other countries likewise. That is the reason. So what are the key points? This is how a pangolin looks like. Okay. So the Indian pangolin is also called as thick-tailed pangolin, is native to the Indian subcontinent. They are one of the most trafficked mammals in the world, despite an international ban on their trade. So there is an international ban. They are under CITES and all that, but still they have been trafficked. So where do they live? They live in India, south of the Himalayas, specifically south of the Himalayas, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and small parts of Pakistan. So they have a wide distribution. It is not that it is specifically found in some place. But what kind of places do they choose? They are well adapted to desert regions. They prefer barren, hilly areas also. They survive in tropical forest, open land, grasslands, and most of the times they are proximate to villages, near the villages, because their only food is ant. They are insectivores. Major food is ant and also termites. So they are insectivores. Cannot say herbivores. They are insectivores, feeds on insects, various insects. So the color of its scales varies depending on the color of the earth in its surroundings. So Asian pangolin gu African pangolin gu differences ide. So Africa daliruvanta pangolin gu adraliruvanta mannu athwa soil mele depend agutte, adraliruvanta scale color, body color. India dalli Indian soil color. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ Pangolin, the skin, what do you call a scale color depends upon the soil factor. It can also curl itself, as I just told you, itself into a ball as a self-defense against the predators. And no matter what, it doesn't open up, because it is like how tortoise does, how porcupine does, or a hedgehog does, and all that. So this is their self-defense. So they feed on ants and termites. It's nocturnal in nature. Remember, it is also nocturnal. It is not diurnal. It is nocturnal. That is, during the day it rests in deep burrows, and at night is what it is active. So that is also there. These are the simple things. One should be knowing it, because ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಯಾಕೆ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Their diet, their habitat, their active hour, etc. Okay. Conservation status anta bandaga IUCN, they are endangered. We have 3 threatened categories under IUCN, that is critically endangered, vulnerable, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ endangered ಆಗಿ categorize ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Wildlife Protection Act 1972 ಕೆಳಗೆ ಇದು ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ 1. ಇದು ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಬಂದ್ರೂ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ 1 ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೈಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ 1972 ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. One has to notice that. Okay. Then CITES, we have 3 appendices. One appendix is Appendix 1. I mean, one of the appendices of CITES. CITES has 3 appendices, Appendix 1, 2, 3, wherein one speaks about or one protects the species which are greatly endangered, which are on the verge of extinction. Antadena ನಾವು Appendix 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Appendix 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾದಂತ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ನ Appendix 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Hope you are getting what I'm telling you. CITES has 3 appendices, 3 categories, 1, 2, 3. ಇದು 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ you can trade this. International trade is allowed, but not for commercial purpose, only for research and development. ಅಂತದ್ನ ನಾವು Appendix 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. Appendix 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು what? It is for commercial trade. Okay. So this is what we have with pangolin. And pangolin idra related details ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Plus you can revisit that particular question. You'll get an idea. Okay. Yes. So tribes in news. Warli tribes are in news this week. So it is not only, the news is not only about the tribes, it is also about what do you say, about the importance of the leopard and how they depend upon, or how they consider these leopards. That is what the importance goes here. Now, this indigenous Warli tribe of Maharashtra, who live near Sanjay Gandhi National Park in Mumbai city itself, it was in this article was on Down to Earth, teaches a lesson about peaceful coexistence with leopards. So leopards have lived in Sanjay Gandhi National Park for a very long time, and while the city continues to grow northward, there has been an abundance of stray dogs and pigs gravitating towards the garbage emanating, providing easy prey for leopards. Yake leopard and leopard human conflict is very what do you call us, very a great menace in Western Ghats, because the recent report also suggests that in India, leopard population is on the rise because they have an easy prey. It may be dogs, stray dogs, and pigs. Why is this happening? Why leopards are entering the human settlements? Because human settlement, it is not entering human settlements. We are only approaching towards forest. Now, in the northern part means most of the forest areas near Mumbai, or especially in Maharashtra, the northern region, which was forest before, because of this urban migration, what we call, many people end up in these metro cities, or especially in Mumbai, and to live within the city will be very expensive, because these are the rural population, right? They have come to the city, they come to the city to earn their livelihood, and it is very difficult and expensive to live in the city. So what they do is they live in the outskirts of the city, where it is a wild area, and in this wild area it will slowly transform into a slum. How they are living in such condition, definitely it attracts stray dogs, pigs, etc. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದಾಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಲೆಪರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಜಾಗದ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ನ್ಯೂ ಥಿಂಗ್. Leopard attack in Maharashtra is quite common. They literally go on a prowl at night. How we see stray dogs at night in the villages, that is how the leopards walk in Maharashtra. So that is how the condition is. But doesn't mean that leopards are under threat here. This tribe, this particular tribe called as Warli tribe, is such an example wherein how they have taught, or they have taught themselves to coexist with the leopards rather than considering it as a threat. That is what the news is all about. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ವಿಷಯ, ಒಂದು ಲೆಪರ್ಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಂಜಯ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ವಾರ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈಬ್. Okay, we will see the key points from this news. So Warli art ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ. Today on textiles, on various articles, products, we have this art, Warli art ಅಂತ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So basically this Warli group are Adivasis who not only live in Maharashtra but also in Gujarat, bordering regions of Gujarat and Maharashtra both. So the word Warli is derived from the word Warla, which means piece of land. That is the name. The Warli culture is centered on the concept of Mother Nature. If you see the paintings only, you'll get to know. And natural elements are frequently depicted as focal points in Warli painting. Right. So I don't believe that here everybody has seen this image, this Warli painting, right? So around the SGNP, that is the national park, where people live in open houses without concrete walls, for example, the residents seem more willing than their high-rise counterparts to share space. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, as I told you, ಈ ವಾರ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಜನರು ಯಾವ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತವ್ರು ಓಪನ್ ಹೌಸಸ್ ನ ಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಆಗಿ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಾರ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈಬ್. ಇಂಥ ಜಾಗಗಳ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲದಿರುವಂತ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಲೆಪರ್ಡ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ ಕಾಮನ್. ಸೊ they do not consider it as an attack. The Warli tribals have for years been worshipping the leopards or Wagoba anta karitare. Leopards for Warlis are revered, they are sacred. So this is a news for us, wherein if at all there is a tribe who considers leopards, that is common leopard we are talking about, remember, common leopard, which are called as Wagoba, ಇದನ್ನ ಅವರು ವರ್ಷಿಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. There are even shrines inside the Sanjay Gandhi National Park. They offer sacrifices, pray for their protection, and all that they do. So coexisting with the nature is a natural way for life anta helಬೋದು for these indigenous people. So where Warlis live in SGNP, revere these big cats rather than fear them. They do not fear them. What they do is, they are in the evenings itself, after 6 p.m. children are not allowed to venture out. Even pet dogs, goats, everything will be locked away in the indoors. Okay, so that they say that it's time for the Wagoba to come. That's it's not snow leopard. Common leopards are about to prowl. They are on the prowl. They are roaming around. So they are considered as gods over there. For them, it is sacred. So what they do is they protect themselves so that they also coexist. They make sure they themselves and their livestock is safe. And the leopards will continue the walk in the national park. This is how they are thriving there. So this is an example how coexistence can happen along with the wild animals, because it is noted wherein you can see in this image also, in the previous image. So warning, leopard movement in the area beyond 6 p.m. in the evening. Visitors in the park beyond 6 p.m. prohibited. So just giving its own space there. That is the beauty of this coexistence, we can say. That is why it was in news. Okay, so that's why I have considered Warli tribes in news, who live in Gujarat and Maharashtra, especially in Maharashtra, especially in Sanjay Gandhi National Park, in and around, not inside, in and around Sanjay Gandhi National Park. Hope it is clear. So today we are talking about common leopard. Okay, because India has 5 big cats, that is Royal Bengal tiger, Asiatic lion, clouded leopard, common leopard, snow leopard. This is about common leopard, just clarifying it. Then we move on to science and tech topic. Radiocarbon dating was in news. It was in the explained section of Hindu. So what is this radiocarbon dating? Why it is in news? When we see the background of this, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಗ್ಯಾನ್ ವಾಪಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಈ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಏನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಥವಾ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಗ್ಯಾನ್ ವಾಪಿ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಆಗ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಟರ್ಮ್ ವಾಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಸೀನ್ ಇನ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವೇರ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು ಯಾರ್ದು ಅದು ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೇ ಬಿಡೋಣ, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಚೆಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. ಇವನ್ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ suggested, I guess, High Court or something, experts. But ultimately, one should know that radiocarbon dating is not for anything and everything that is dead. Radiocarbon dating is for the living ones which were living organisms now dead. We can understand their lifetime. Eshtu haledu fossil anta nodadke ee method na ನಾವು follow ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So anyway, it is in the news. It was in the news in the past few months, and now it is on Hindu. They have brought it under the explained section. Simple general question on radiocarbon dating kelbodu. So some of the highlights from this article is been selectively picked here, and we will see what is it. So radiocarbon dating brought the first verifiable way to keep time to many fields of science, significantly transforming them. So radiocarbon dating helped establish the age and authenticity of the famous Dead Sea Scrolls. Dead Sea Scrolls anta ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿರಬಹುದು, ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ you check it, what is the importance of it. So ಇದು ಏನ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಈ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದು ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೆಡ್ ಸಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಲ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಳೇದು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷದ ಹಳೇದು ಇದು ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಲ್ಸ್, ದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್, ದ ನರೇಟಿವ್ಸ್. ಡೆಡ್ ಸಿ ಅಂತ ದ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್, ಇನ್ ದ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಹಿಸ್ಟಾರಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ನಾವು ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ಓಕೆ, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್. So with the image I have put up here. So dating, not that dating, this dating is different. Dating is a method by which the age of an object can be determined. That is why we are looking into this or taking up this method. So we understand how old this particular object is, which is dead now. Once it was living. So we cannot take carbon dating, remember, for stones. For any stone, for any abiotic non-living component, it is only for the living organic ones which lived. So radiocarbon dating refers to a method that does this using radiocarbon, a name for the isotope carbon-14. Carbon-14 isotope itkondo ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ರೇಡಿಯೋಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ NCERT ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. In one of the NCERTs, I think history ಅಥವಾ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ. So you have to go look into it. Okay. Anyway, how does this carbon-14 isotope of carbon ಹೇಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. It is created in the Earth's atmosphere when cosmic rays, energetic streams of the charged particles coming from the sources in outer space, slam into the atoms of the gases and release the neutrons. So you can see here, cosmic radiation is nothing but the radiation, solar radiation. ಅದೇನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ when it hits the charged particles, it has stream charge particles, it slams into the atoms of the gases release neutrons. So illiruvanta gases jothe combine agi enagutte neutrons na release ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Neutron, we have this atomic particle we are talking about. Tumba in depth ಹೋಗೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ scientific part ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Just carbon dating ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಅದರ applications ಏನು, carbon-14 isotope ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, basic general science, that is enough. Okay, when these neutrons, proton, neutron, electron, neutrally charged particles, when these neutrons interact with the nitrogen-14 isotope of nitrogen, they can produce carbon-14. First ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, cosmic radiation slams, hits the atoms of the gases in the atmosphere, and when it slams ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಜೊತೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ it leads to production of the carbon-14. ಈ carbon-14 ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ, since cosmic rays are ceaselessly passing through the Earth's atmosphere, carbon-14 is created constantly here. ಈ cosmic radiation is nothing but from the space, from the sun. ಏನ್ ನಾವು ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ C14 ಐಸೋಟೋಪ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರೆಡಿಲಿ ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿರಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಂಟೇಕ್ ಬೈ ಆನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದೇರ್ ಲೈಫ್. ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐಸೋಟೋಪ್ ಅಂತ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ವಿ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್, ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್. ವೈ? ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಆನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ feed on these plants, herbivores. they'll be absorbing this 14C or C14, carbon 14 isotope. Then again, it further leads to what do you call as this carbon 14 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ radioactive decay ಆಗಿ slowly decay ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಏನು ನಾವು ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಳೇದು ಈ ಒಂದು ಪಳೆ ಉಳಿಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಫಾಸಿಲ್. ಈಗ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ಡೈಸ್ ಆ ಇಂಟೇಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಅಥವಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮುಂಚೆದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಯಾವಾಗ ಈ C14 ಇಂಟೇಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಆಯ್ತು ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. I just focused on how this carbon 14 is formed rather than focusing on the method itself. Method ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. I don't think so procedure will be asked, but just an awareness is very, very important. Okay. And also applications. ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Obviously for to understand the time or the date of the age or authenticity of anything. Today, let me give you an example. Say for example, there is a wildlife crime that has taken place or some confiscated forest department confiscated one of the animal artifact. ಈಗ ಒಂದು elephant tusk na ಸಿಕ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲೋ, somebody was selling it off, so they confiscated it. Now under Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 adu it is an offense, wildlife offense. So first thing is, if at all that party says, that person who is being arrested, he says that this is very old, this I got from this is one of the gifts I got, this is my ancestral the legacy or the gift that we have received and I'm just preserving it. I did not kill any elephants. Adರ basis ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಯಾವ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ ಇಸ್ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್. ಈ ಟಸ್ಕ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಳೇದು, ಈ ಐವರಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಳೇದು ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ how old is this fossil, is this artifact is. So and one more thing is, if at all it was even before Wildlife Protection Act ಬರಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ according to the act. 1972 ಆದ ನಂತರ ಬಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಲೀಗಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಇಂಥ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ಹಳೇದಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಓಕೆ, ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಲಾನೇ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ನೋ ಸಚ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಫೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ like excavations from earth alva, so how old it is ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೂ ಈ ಮೆಥಡ್ ನ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. I don't think so this is very new topic to you, you know it already, but just because it is in the news we have to give some importance. Now next is Pegasus spyware, was recently in news. Pegasus or spyware or ransomware, malware, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ from past few years. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ we are just looking into it. Is Pegasus spyware targeting journalists in India? What are the latest allegations? What is NSO's response? What mechanism was used by the spyware? All this. So what is the spyware, ransomware, malware and all that? Malware ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Computer attack ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, virus attack. Ransomware ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Ransomware. What is the meaning of ransomware? I just checked in the break. Some of you are actually replying me on YouTube, but Zoom will be more convenient to me, so that's why I'm able to interact here directly. Ransomware. What is ransomware? Ransomware is nothing but inducing the virus and asking for a ransom. Ransom antadre blackmailing for money, threatening that they would destroy the information that is in the or inducing a virus, injecting a virus by threatening, by asking for money. Adu ransomware anta karitivi. Is spyware andre enu? The name itself suggests spying on the information, allegedly spying on the information in some other's computer. Adikke ನಾವು spyware anta karitivi. Anyway, we will see idu Pegasus spyware ellinda bantu, idradu enu facts anta. So the Washington Post and human rights and non-profit Amnesty International have alleged that the spyware instance known as Pegasus continues to be in use on this occasion targeting journalists in India. Actually, Pegasus is, I think, in Greek mythology, if I'm not wrong, horse with wings, Pegasus anta karitare. So allinda adar hesaru bandide. We'll see this anyway. Pegasus continues to be in use on this occasion targeting journalists in India. So ಈ ಸ್ಪೈವೇರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಬಂದಿರೋ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಜರ್ನಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಪೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ದೆಮ್, ಮಾನಿಟರಿಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ನ್ಯೂಸ್. So Pegasus spyware is highly invasive mobile surveillance tool that can secretly infiltrate and monitor smartphones, collecting data, information from various apps and sources. It was developed by Israeli cyber intelligence firm NSO Group, which claims to sell it only to government agency for fighting crime and terrorism. ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಕಂಟ್ರಿನೇ ಇಸ್ರಾಯಲ್. ಇಸ್ರಾಯಲ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇದು ಒಂದು ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಫರ್ಮ್, ಇಸ್ರಾಯಲಿ ಸೈಬರ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಫರ್ಮ್ NSO ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. It developed it, Israel developed this, and it says that we are selling only to the government, that is at the national level, wherein they can use this spyware to fight crime and terrorism. Yavaga ee Pegasus spyware use agutte antandre for law and order. ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ರೈಮ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಟೆರರಿಸಮ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಫೋನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ನಾವು ಸ್ಪೈ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಈ ಸ್ಪೈವೇರ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇಸ್ರಾಯಲ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸಮಯ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಗಿಂತ ಬೇರೆದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಿಸ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋದೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ Israel claims that we do not sell it for any private parties. But here it is happening is what the newspaper says. So this is what the news all about. So I've already told you spyware, ransomware, malware idella one or the other issues. There will be different names irutte, prati varshadallu onond names irutte. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಅಪ್ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ರ್ಯಾನ್ಸಮ್ ವೇರ್, ಸ್ಪೈವೇರ್, ಮಾಲ್ವೇರ್ಗೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಇದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ಸ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್. ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ಆದ್ರೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಸೈಬರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ, ಸೈಬರ್ ಸುರಕ್ಷಿತ್ ಭಾರತ್, ಸರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಸರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ important that you have to look into. CERT in computer emergency response team, okay, critical information infrastructure, Indian cyber crime coordination center. So cyber crime cell antanu ide for any grievances. ಈಗ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ we can directly complain in the cyber cell. So that these are the initiatives. International level ಅಲ್ಲಿ we have International Telecommunications Union. Anything associated with these telecommunications one can approach. And Budapest Convention on Cyber Crime, idondu convention no ide. So you have to remember there are various conventions for various issues. For cyber crime we have Budapest, Hungary, capital of Hungary. So convention is also been signed for cyber security. Even beyond this we are experiencing various spyware, malware, ransomware and all that. Okay, so have a tab on it. Even if there is a question on cyber security, ನೀವು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. What are the India's initiatives India has taken international level ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, then so this we have ಅದೇ advanced technology ಇರೋದೇ ಒಂದು ಕರ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಇವಾಗ. We have advanced technology, equally we have cyber crimes. That is what it is ironical. Yes. So Karman line, Kerman line, however it is pronounced. I guess it is a Kerman line according to the intonations it is given. So what is this exactly? Where is it? Not on earth. E line now esto this I am considering under what do you call it? Science and tech only, because this is not somewhere. Yes, this is not somewhere on earth. This is in space. Or above 100 kilometers, what you're saying, we will see it. So basically news ಏನಂತ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. The crucial role of the Karman line in space defense strategies. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. The Karman line lacks a specific national demarcation, resembling the concept of international waters. International waters na ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ demarcation ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, because it is water. On land you can do it. In water and air you cannot demarcate it. Similarly this is in air. Okay, so this line established by FAI, which serves as a theoretical boundary between Earth's atmosphere and outer space. So where exactly this line is? Above or between the Earth's atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere are the nantra, ella layers, which are the layers of atmosphere? Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, exosphere. Adad nantra one line. ಮತ್ತು ಔಟರ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈ ಎಂಡ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಕರ್ಮನ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. This boundary is instrumental in facilitating the successful operation of the spacecraft and satellites. Where are we launching? For that, one has to get to know where are we launching it, where is this end of it. So it is like a line, an imaginary line one has marked, the scientists have marked. So it provides a reference point for the scientists and aerospace engineers to understand the transition between Earth's atmosphere and the vacuum of the space. It's two key points. Illi enantantandre, in an adversary, if an adversary were to dominate the Karman line, the theoretical boundary between Earth's atmosphere and outer space, several threats to satellite communication could emerge, affecting both space-based assets and their communication capabilities. So the challenges of this is, or the issue in here with this line is, not everybody has accepted it. It was actually demarcated by a person himself. That is why it is named as Karman line. Okay. So Theodore von Karman, he was an aerospace pioneer. So he marked it. He named it. Okay. Yet, not everybody will accept it. We will see that. Located at 100 kilometers above sea level, it is an imaginary line that demarcates the Earth's atmosphere from the space. Okay. Just above you can see this region here, 100 kilometers. So this is where we have this Karman line. Okay. After mesosphere, just before thermosphere anta helbodu. It was named after aerospace, it was established in 1960s by a record keeping body called the Federation Aeronautique International, or whatever it is pronounced. Okay, it was named after aerospace pioneer Theodore von Karman. It is based on physical reality in the sense that it roughly marks the altitude where traditional aircraft can no longer effectively fly. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಲೈನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಮೀರಿ ಏರ್ಕ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೈ ಆಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಇದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌವ್ ಕರ್ಮಾನ್ ಲೈನ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರೊಪಲ್ಷನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಮೋರ್ ಥ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕು, that doesn't rely on lift generated by Earth's atmosphere. The air is simply too thin that high up. Just above this mesosphere or this Karman line, the air is really thin and it is very difficult for the aircraft to fly over there. In other words, Karman line is where the physical laws governing a craft's ability to fly shift. Anyone who crosses this line qualifies as an astronaut. Who passes over or goes beyond this Karman line can be called as an astronaut anta ಒಂದು definition ಇದೆ. But not all the scientists agree with this. They have their relative explanation to it. So basically, ಇದು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, there are discussions, there are negotiations that is happening. Like, what if something beyond this could happen to the satellites, or it can go beyond it? Who will check about it, and what is the decisions has to be made? And not every country, all the scientists adhere or accept this line and all that. This is like a general discussion. Adre nimge Karman line andre ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Okay, that is the first line you have to remember. Located at 100 kilometers above sea level, it is an imaginary line that demarcates Earth's atmosphere from the space. Okay, yes, or 62 miles. Remember that also. This is about Karman line. Then places in news, Lakshadweep. I'm taking Lakshadweep as places in news this week, not because our Prime Minister went for a snorkeling there. Of course, that was also a bit controversial. People started commenting on it. But apart from that, what is the real news? Okay, it is not about snorkeling by Prime Minister. It is about the inauguration that took place there. The Prime Minister of India in Kavaratti, Lakshadweep, capital of Lakshadweep, inaugurated Kochi Lakshadweep Islands submarine optical fiber connection. Optical fiber for telecommunication project na launch madidru recent agi. That's why he was there. Okay. Yes. So this is to ensure internet services to these people, or people of Lakshadweep, as it is a small island off the coast of India, especially we have two chain of island, Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar. Between these two, Lakshadweep is more proximate to the mainland of India. So we actually, rather than considering it as an island, we can say it is a coastal area according to biogeographical categorization. Adana now coastal area antanu karibodu, similar agide anta. So this Kochi Lakshadweep Island project, okay, a fiber connection project, will lead to an increase in internet speed, unlocking new possibilities and opportunities. For the first time since independence, Lakshadweep will be connected through submarine optical fiber cable, so that one can understand there is no connectivity at all. The dedicated submarine OFC will ensure a paradigm shift in communication infrastructure in the Lakshadweep Islands, enabling faster and more reliable internet services, telemedicine, e-governance, education initiatives, digital banking, digital currency usage, digital literacy, etc. So one can quite imagine Lakshadweep was devoid, or it was deprived of all this till now. That is the reason, to improve the infrastructure facilities, internet facilities, connectivity, this project is launched as of now. That is why Lakshadweep is in news. Idella bittu Lakshadweep bagge kelbo. See, satellite, we cannot have, always rely on satellite. Optical fiber, that is the question, obviously. Ee tara infrastructure bekagitta Lakshadweepige, because Lakshadweep is known for its corals, coral island. It is known for its natural or biodiversity, especially birds. Many bird species are there. It is known for it. So people from the environmental perspective are asking the same question. Already satellites were there. Why there was a need? Andre, it should not be let out anta government helutte. So both the sides you have to look into it. What is the government's justification? What is the citizens' criticism? Weigh in balance, both the things in balance. Okay. Mostly you should be thinking from the government perspective as you are aspiring to get into it. Adu ide. I'm not telling you have to be biased, but be reasonable and be rational. Taking up concepts when you look into the news, why government is deciding and why people are against it. Definitely already there is a criticism what has been happening in Great Nicobar. Great Nicobar allo ade aagtade ivaga. Infrastructure madak hogtidare. There was a criticism and government has its justification. We need it for strategic importance. Illi connectivity illa. Idella ನಾವು implement ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ news. But this is what we have. So ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸಬ್ಮರೀನ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. ಈ ಜಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕವರಟಿ, ಅಗಟಿ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಅದರ ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಹೆಸರು ಲಕ್ಷದ್ವೀಪ್. ಅಮಿನಿ, ಕಡ್ಮಟ್ ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಚೆಟ್ಲೆಟ್, ಕಲ್ಪೇನಿ, ಮಿನಿಕಾಯ್, ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ನೇಮ್ಸ್. ಬಂಗಾರಂ, because the prime minister went to snorkeling in Bangaram, I guess, Bangaram beach. That's why it was in news. So the project is funded by Universal Services Obligation Fund, Department of Telecommunication. Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited was the project executing agency and the work was awarded to NEC Corporation. These are our technical details, need not worry about it. The major activities related to the project, this will be important, okay? Or maybe the island names, 11 islands in kottidare, adu onsari ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. Which of the following islands are not part of Lakshadweep or part of Lakshadweep ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. So keep that in mind. First point and last point. The major activities related to the project include marine route survey, submarine cable laying, civil construction, installation, testing. So basically connectivity ಬಗ್ಗೆ focus ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Okay. So this is what we have. Then defense. Defense ಬಗ್ಗೆ usually I don't take up news on any military exercise, joint military exercise. I do not consider, except it is for state government. This I have taken up because of the unique name it has. Unique name it has. It is Desert Cyclone. Desert Cyclone was recently in news on the Kutputre. You should be knowing what is it exactly. Okay, it is a joint military exercise between which country? India and UAE, United Arab Emirates, from January 2nd to January 15th. It is an ongoing exercise that is happening. It is a military exercise. Army. It is the inaugural edition of the joint military exercise Desert Cyclone between India and the UAE. The exercise aims to enhance interoperability by learning and sharing best practices in urban operations. Usually military exercise yadik ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ they display the strength of each of the countries, right, to have a collaboration in various applications. So this exercise is marking a significant milestone in the strategic partnership. We know that UAE ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸಿ ಇದೆ, ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ especially in oil and other factors also. Different factors, India and UAE has quite a relations. So this is also equally important. Earlier this year, 2 ships of the Indian Navy, that is INS Vishakhapatnam and INS Trikhand, participated in bilateral exercise, that is Zayed Talwar with UAE already. Zayed Talwar is also with UAE, remember. Adu Navy, idu military. So this is Navy, Zayed Talwar. That is also for the same thing. These 2 terms should be kept in mind. So this is about exercise Desert Cyclone as a defense part. Okay. Recently, there was a GI tag given for one of very unique thing, that is chutney, red ant chutney. Okay. So this is famous in Mayurbhanj in Odisha. Recently, it received the GI tag. And why GI tag for this? Why it is important? What is this uniqueness? Especially the place of Mayurbhanj. Mayurbhanj district is Simlipal. Simlipal is known for tiger reserve. Simlipal, last week also we had Simlipal Tiger Reserve, known for black tigers. So it is often in news, right? So Simlipal Kai chutney. It's not Kai chutney, which is our Kai chutney. This is Kai chutney, this they say. Made with red beaver ants. Okay, so red beaver ants by the tribal people of Odisha. It has received GI tag. The savory chutney is popular in the region for its healing properties and also deemed important for nutritional security of the tribal people. So ants, weaving ants, they weave like the protein what they have. Sometimes it can be fungus, or they actually carry this nutrition and they keep on weaving because of the fluids they secrete in their body. So red weaver ants, which are indigenous to Mayurbhanj, they are found in abundance in the jungles of Simlipal Tiger Reserve. So the flow goes like this: Odisha, Mayurbhanj district, Simlipal Tiger Reserve. And the GI tag is received to this red ant chutney. And red ant are these weaver ants, which is known for its delicious and nutritional aspect of the chutney. Okay. So what is the speciality of this red weaver ants? They form colonies with multiple nests in the trees. Each nest is made up of leaves stitched together. They stitch all the leaves together and they make what do you call as a home for them, and with the silk produced by their larva. So what you see, this white thing, it is larvae of the ants. So the silk which is produced by this larva, they weave the leaves. So that is what these people consume. So they feed on small insects and other invertebrates like beetles, flies, and hymenopterans. Hymenopterans means, again, they come under the group of beetles, moth, the group of insects, hymenopterans. So basically these insects feed on these larger insects, which is a dead or which directly prey upon them. Okay, they attack these insects and they eat it up. So they do not sting. They will not sting, but have a painful bite into which they can secrete irritant chemicals from their abdomens. Basically, they inject, they have a painful bite. They do not sting, this formic acid. They literally bite the prey, and then they induce this irritant chemicals where the prey will die. It may be any of these beetles, flies, and all that. So they are also recognized as biocontrol agents. Biocontrol is a very important concept. Biocontrol andre concept of controlling the population of one organism with help using the other. For example, biocontrol like guppy fish. Guppy fish is an example. Guppy fish is used to control the population of mosquito. One organism is used to control the population of another. That is called as biocontrol. So red weaver ants are very important as biocontrol agents because they are aggressive and will prey on most arthropods, that is insects, entering their territory. So idukoskara their ecological importance anta anbodu. They protect a variety of tropical crops against insect pests, acting as an alternative to chemical insecticides. So red weaver ants ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಒಂದು ಪೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದನ್ನ ತಿನ್ನೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರೆಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ these ants are very important. Doesn't mean that these people are eating up all the weaver ants. That is their cuisine, delicacy. Adukke adu GI tag sikkide anta. Okay, so GI tag is the news, but we are actually focusing on the ants, or literally ants itself. So this is what the focus should be. Then moving on to the last one, probably International relations. So India-Pakistan exchange list of nuclear installations. Okay, Indo-Pak nuclear installations and facility treaty. So recently, India and Pakistan exchanged the list of nuclear installations and facilities through diplomatic channels recently under the agreement on the prohibition of attack against nuclear installation facility. On the agreement, the prohibition of attack against nuclear installments and facilities. As the name itself suggests. So on a timely basis, India ಮತ್ತು Pakistan meet ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ nuclear installations ಏನು. I don't know whether both the parties actually present the true facts, because usually nobody does that, but still which is evident. Satellite imagery we cannot actually cover it and hide it and keep it. Obviously that is understood. So what is very evident and what can be said regarding nuclear installations ಮತ್ತು facilities ಬಗ್ಗೆ information na exchange ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. So ಅದು ಒಂದು treaty ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದು ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತು ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಕೀ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇದು ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು? ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೊಹಿಬಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸೈನ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಇಯರ್ 1988 by Pakistani Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto and Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. The treaty came into force on January 27, 1991 and has 2 copies each in Urdu and Hindi. ಈ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ? 1986 Indian Army carried out a massive exercise, brass tacks, raising fears of an attack on nuclear facilities. So ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, it is not about the fear of attacking, it is fear of attacking on nuclear facilities ಮೇಲೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Not only we are losing the nuclear facility, but also it creates a huge disaster in a particular place. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ better to say that, okay, we have all these installations, facilities, and there should be no attack on the installation. Attack separately, war is totally different, but should not harm the installation anta ಒಂದು treaty ಇದೆ. Since then, both countries have been negotiating to reach an understanding towards the control of nuclear weapons, which culminated in the treaty. So nuclear weapons na control ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, facilities na destroy ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ treaty ಇದೆ. The agreements mandates both the countries to inform each other about any nuclear installations and facilities to be covered under the agreement on the 1st of January every year. 1st of January ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So this is about the agreement. This is what we had from international relations this week. Okay, hope you followed the class. These are the topics what we had today. Many topics are quite repeated, right? Names of terms ಏನಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. So continuously when you listen to this or attend or you watch the recording or you read by yourself, no trouble with that, but ultimately revise more and more. The more you know about the topics, the more you hear about it, you'll be more confident. That's what I'd like to say. Okay, so this is what we have for today. Thank you so much for being interactive. Some who joined on Zoom, I could interact. Sometimes will overlook the replies on YouTube. But I tried my best to interact, looking at your replies as well. Hope you got the idea and you asked your doubts also have cleared. Any other questions if you have, you can ask, or else we can wind up for today. We can meet in the next class. Any questions? Okay, so we'll meet in the next session. Thank you so much and take care.